Welcome to the Audible, brought to you by ITSGEZA.com. I'm your host G, and this week we are talking the Dior 1s, iOS 14, Yeezy Gap, and more. Dior 1s. Everyone wants them, but does anyone even have the credit line to make the purchase? I just want to know how much of the proceeds will be donated because I can only imagine the profit margins on this one. Were you able to sign up for the raffle? Do you even care? Kanye inks deal with Gap. Kanye and Gap aim to disrupt retail as Kanye wants to become the Steve Jobs of Gap. What do you think this means? What do you see Gap becoming? Kanye appointed Mowalola Ogunlesi, a black woman, to head up the design team for Yeezy and Gap. This is a huge win for Yeezy and Gap as Mowalola is one of the best designers in the industry, period. I definitely think more brands should be giving opportunities to black and brown female creatives, and this should not be the first time we are realizing it. This marks one of the first steps in Kanye making his brand more available and more affordable for those who want it, but don't expect to see it in stores until 2021. Apple announces iOS 14 with major changes. Now more than ever, iOS is looking a lot like Android, but I think it's much needed and a welcome change. From widgets to a newly designed app library, what are you most excited for? Apple also announced their new developer entrepreneur camp for black developers to create a more inclusive tech industry. At the moment, Apple already offers a development camp for women, but anyone in tech will tell you it is a white male-dominated industry. Thank you, Apple. We need more. The NBA is back! The NBA dropped the schedule for the first week of games to be played in Orlando. Obviously, this is must-see TV, but we can't let this distract us from what's going on in the world right now. We need to empower the players to keep using their platforms to speak on the issues. The Netflix July list is out, and The Last Dance will be available to watch on July 19th. They also have an interesting documentary series from the producers of Stranger Things starting July 1st called Unsolved Mysteries. This really made me think about what I want to see on Netflix. I think we need more relevant content. We need more producers documenting unresolved and covered up cases against the black and brown community. Making a Murderer was intense, but what about all the people of color that are locked up for crimes that they didn't commit? For a full list of what we'll be able to watch, click the link in the description below. This week's One Thing I Love, Doug P's Loosely Based Cartoons. For a real look at what it's like to move to LA, check out Doug P's Loosely Based Cartoons that are loosely based on his life and his experiences moving to LA. Check out his Instagram and support Doug by buying his newly released book on Amazon. I want to introduce a new segment on the show called Tomorrow Isn't Promised. Tomorrow truly is never promised, and I want to remind you to get what you need to get done today. Call your mom, start that business, take that first step, because you never know where tomorrow will take us. Starting next week, I'll be using this segment to show what leaders in our communities look like. I want to give them their flowers while they're here, and let them share their stories and their plans for the future. The Audible is now available in video form on YouTube, IGTV, and ITSGEZA.com. And it's available in audio form on Spotify, Apple Music, and where all podcasts are available. Once again, this has been The Audible. I'm your host, G, and if you have something you want me to cover, DM me on Instagram or Twitter at ITSGEZA. Remember, tomorrow isn't promised. See you next week.